Welcome, everybody, back to another episode of Founder Stories, the show where we hear firsthand from founders what it takes to grow and scale a business. Today, we're joined by father and son founders Mark and John Cronin from John's Crazy Socks. I'm super happy that you guys are on the show because you've got a very important mission and a very interesting start to your company and things like that. So I'm really glad that you guys are on. So welcome to the show.
Well, thank you for having us.
Thank you. Yes.
No problem at all. So before I want to obviously dive into the background and get sort of the story from your guys' side, because it's an interesting start to your business. But before we do that, can we just let everybody know where you are at the moment, what it is that you do, currently today?
Where are we, pal?
We are Crazy Socks.
But where are we?
We're in Melville.
Melville, which is part of the town of Huntington, which is on Long Island, which is about 35 miles outside of New York City, outside of Manhattan. If you think about it in terms of a car ride, it's anywhere from a 45-minute car ride from Times Square to a 3-hour car ride, depending on the traffic.
Yeah, right now you could probably do it in about 30 minutes.
Right. So this is true. So what's our mission, pal?
Our mission is spread happiness.
We're in a mission of spreading happiness and showing what people with different abilities can do, showing what all people can do. We just so happened that we sell socks. The socks are the manifestation, the physical manifestation, if you will, of the happiness we're trying to spread.
Perfect. I love it. And you guys have been in business for about 4 years now, is that right?
What day did we open?
We opened Friday, December 9, 2016.
So about 3.5 years.
Yeah. Perfect. So I want to get into the backstory then, because you've got obviously an interesting backstory into how you guys got started. As I've read online, this was John's creation on how he wanted to do the rest of his life almost. So could you get us a little bit of insight into how you guys came up with the idea of John's Crazy Socks?
Yeah, origin stories matter, right? It's that's where you forge your DNA.
Yes.
And our origin story, it ties into our mission. So you'd have to cast yourself all the way back to the fall of 2016.
Yeah.
Where were you?
I'm in school. I went to Huntington High School and with the tech.
So John was at the local high school, Huntington High School, splitting time with the tech school. And what's something you want everyone to know about you?
I want to let everyone know I have done the room. Never hold me back.
Right. So John has Down syndrome. In the U.S., you can stay in high school until you either graduate or turn 21, until you age out. So in the fall of 2016, John was in his last year of school. He was going to have to leave at the end of that year. So, as we kind of joked, they were going to say, "Get the heck out of here. We had enough of you."
Yes,
and so you were looking around trying to figure out what to do, right?
I've been looking around. I look at deals, and I want to go to bed with my dad.
Well, you looked at some jobs and some different programs and school options, and here's the reality.
I do.
There are not a lot of good choices available to people with different abilities. So did you see anything you liked?
No, I don't.
No. So now John, I like to say he's a natural entrepreneur. Right? He has a problem. What am I going to do? I don't see anything I like. But you turn that into an opportunity.
I did.
What did you tell me?
I said, I want to go be with my dad. I want to follow the business.
So he comes and says, "Dad, let's go into business together."
Yeah.
And I was at a point where a business I had been working in had shut down. I was starting some online businesses. And he comes with that suggestion. I say, "Great, let's work together," right?
Right, Dad.
What was your first idea?
I first idea of fun store.
A fun store.
Fun store.
Now, if you have any idea what a fun store is, you let us know. But still have no idea. What was your next idea?
A food truck. I got an idea from the movie John Favreau, a movie about a father that been and having a body with a food truck.
Right. So John Favreau had made this neat little movie about bonding with his son over a food truck. And you liked that idea.
I did.
We liked that idea. We're looking into it. But we ran into a problem.
We can't cook.
Yeah, we can't cook.
Well, that's it's only a small stumbling block.
You know, that holds you back.
Yeah.
Right before Thanksgiving.
I want to start creating socks. Why sock is fun, it's colorful, I love it creative, and it always never be me. I want to create socks my entire life.
Right. So John had worn these crazy socks. We used to drive around looking for them.
I did.
Yeah.
And it's, you know this, in starting a business, particularly if you're going to sell something, if it's something you love, there are chances that there are other people that will love it too, that you can find your tribe. And so we decided, let's go and test this idea. And you and your listeners can relate to this, right? We sat down and, you know, what people often do at that point is, let's work up a business plan. That's not what we did. We went the lean startup route. It was relatively simple. John already had a name.
I did.
And the idea that we would sell online. So we built a website on the Shopify platform. We got ourselves some inventory. And the only marketing we did was to set up a Facebook page.
I talk about sock, and then also talk about cafe. Sock, monster.
Right? We made these videos with John talking about socks.
I did.
Right? We were bootstrapping.
Yep.
So you have to make do with what you have. We had a cell phone.
Yep.
And we started making these videos, and we noticed they started getting shared. So what day did we open?
We opened on Friday, December 9th, 2016.
Right in the middle of December. And we were very fortunate. We got 42 orders that very first day. And most of them were local, which made sense, right? John's at the local high school. That's where we lived. We had a temporary office space there. And we decided to make home deliveries.
Yeah, that's my idea. And we got red boxes. And we put in socks. And I had to look something in the box. About a second note I wrote. I put candy in it.
We put candy in. We put a thank you note in. And we drove around. John knocked on doors.
And customers respond. They loved it.
They loved it, right? They took photos.
Yep, they did. I get a word.
They put photos. People were sharing it on social media. We'd show up and whole families were waiting for John to come to their door.
Right.
That's amazing. Why did you want to put the notes in and do the candy? Why did you want to do that rather than just post them?
Because we knew, you know, we could talk about it, but part of our essence is making that personal connection. And a sense of gratitude. We were so grateful we had orders. We wanted to say thank you to the customers.
Yeah.
So we started it then, and we still do, right? Every package gets a thank you note, a handwritten thank you note from John, and get some candy. You know, there are some tales. You know, you know how this goes. So you get bumps along the way.
Of course.
So when we started, what candy were we putting in?
100 Kisses.
Hershey's Kisses, you know, little chocolates.
So Hershey got upset with that one.
Yeah, and until we got the email from the woman in Florida who said, you may want to think about sending candy through the mail. So now we send out Skittles, packages of Skittles.
Yes, we did.
Because they don't melt. You know?
That's a good one. Yeah, and it's interesting that you jumped to like, this is what we're going to do. We're not just going to deliver socks. We're going to make it personal. We're going to entertain and delight people. Like it's interesting to see where you've gone. We're going to make a fun store. And rather than just going, well, socks are fun, that'll do. It's no, the socks are fun. That's great. But now how's the delivery going to be fun? How's the customer service going to be fun? How's the marketing going to be fun?
we
everything.
are. I'm a big fan of Simon Sinek and his idea of start with why.
Yes.
We do love the socks,
Mm.
but that's not really what we're about.
Yep.
That's the how and the what.
Mm.
But it really is the idea of how can we delight people? How do we connect? How do we spread that happiness?
Yeah.
We can, we could talk. We tested it. We had success. And we learned things, right?
Yeah.
One, people want to buy socks.
Yeah.
Two about like a me and relate to me.
People wanted to buy from John. They related to John. They liked the fact that we had that personal touch. They liked the fact that we had already pledged 5% of our earnings to the Special Olympics.
Yeah.
And why the Special Olympics?
I am Special Olympic athlete.
You're a Special Olympic athlete?
Yes.
Yes, right?
Excellent.
And there was something we didn't expect.
Yeah.
If we didn't do it, we wouldn't have known. We immediately got emails and phone calls from people telling us they found John to be an inspiration because they had a child with Down syndrome, or they had a child with autism, or with a disability, and this gave them hope.
Yes, that's amazing. That must be you'd give everything away just for those emails. Like, I bet that changes everything for you.
It's we're still wrapping our heads around it.
Yeah.
Because to us, it's just John and me.
Yeah.
And we hear all the time,
Right.
that John's an inspiration, but I'll tell you the truth, he's still the young guy who sits next to me in the car and texts to me while sitting next to me. Text me, Dad, I just farted. That's your inspiration.
Yeah. Inspiration comes to all sorts of different places.
But we took it from there.
Yeah.
And we knew at that point, okay, this could work. And what we've built is a slightly different model. It's a social enterprise. And social enterprises are becoming more common. I know Canada, you can register as a social enterprise. We don't have that yet in the US. I think 4 or 5 states let you do that. But we have both the social mission and the business mission, and they feed off of each other. Right? The social mission is very clear. We want to show the world what people with different abilities can do.
Yeah.
We want to give back, but the business has to work.
Yes, of course.
I like to say, John and I, we like to live indoors. So, you got to make some money.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably slightly important.
Right. But we built it on 4 pillars: inspiration and hope.
Give it back. So you can love. Make it personal.
Make it a personal. So you mentioned, right from the beginning, putting the thank you cards and the candy in.
Yeah.
The making it personal, the way I find is once you really accept that value, then it infuses everything you do. So we've added things, right? Here's an example. We do our own fulfillment.
Yeah.
We call the pickers in our fulfillment operation, we call them sock wranglers. And all of them have a different ability. Well, all of our sock wranglers have stickers with their names and pictures on it. And they put that sticker on the packing slip that goes off to the customer. So the customer knows this wasn't picked by a robot. This wasn't picked by some outsourced organization. There were real people there. So that little thing makes that personal connection.
Yeah, it's the difference between having a product-focused company and a customer-focused company.
Yeah, people talk all the time, we're going to be customer-focused, in a year from now.
Yeah.
You either are or you aren't. I'll give you another example. So we put candy in every package. Well, one of our happiness packers comes and says, you know what? we sell socks for diabetics, but we're sending them sugar candy.
Oh dear.
So, you're right. So now we have a collection of sugar-free candy, and if you order socks, diabetic socks, you get the sugar-free candy. It doesn't take much. It's just paying attention.
Yeah, it's those little things. I love this. Is why I wanted you guys on the show, because it's not a tactic or a strategy that you're trying to do. The intention is happiness, kindness, people focused, customers. Like, your intention is one thing here, and so it becomes easy to do these like things that you might be like, oh, that's it's not a tactic, it's a genuine act of kindness that I'm trying to do in any way, shape or form. So you've got all of these, like, you know, whether we're going to do it on a broad scale or a small scale doesn't really matter. The intention behind everything is already there and established from the get-go.
Yes. And it has to be, you know, like, we have a very simple mission. We boil it down to spreading happiness. You walk in our place, we got a big sign, it says it there, but we talk about it all the time, and that becomes the criteria.
Yeah.
You can't just, you know, I feel bad for, you know, I've been through it. You go on that corporate retreat to come up with a mission statement. And you spend the day parsing the language, and then they hand it out to everybody in the company, but nobody believes it because nobody lives it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll give you another example about, you know, spreading happiness and connecting with customers, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, you've heard the line, the customer is always right.
Yeah.
Well, that's nonsense. The customer can be dead wrong. You know?
Yeah. If I listened to my customer, I'd have made faster horses.
Well, there's some of that, or, you know, it's, you sent me this or that, and you're looking at the order. We sent you exactly what you asked for. But it turns out we're not in the business of being right.
Yeah.
We're in the business of making that customer happy. So our customer service people, our customer response people, because we're all in customer service, they know they can spend $200 on any customer. Do whatever it takes, make that customer happy.
Yeah. Definitely.
That's better for everybody.
Yeah.
The customer walks away feeling better. They get this surprising service. So what do? They go and tell other people. Our people are happier. They're not fighting. They're doing things for people. And our return rate is about 1%.
Yeah. It's funny. I always talk, when I meet with business owners, or, you know, I look at a marketing plan or whatever, I always talk about marketing, communications and building a brand, ultimately, because that's what you're trying to do, in 4 categories. You've got broad communications, personal communications, and then of those, they're either produced internally, like your company makes them, or externally, somebody else makes them. And you've got to do all 4. So you've got to have a broad internal, broad external, and a personal. And just by almost, like, I'm sure you've not thought about that in that kind of strategy. What you've done is thought about how can we delight everybody in any which way that we possibly can, which is built all of those categories. You seem to have just got ironed out from the thought process of how do we just make everybody happy? Like,
yes, you know, and part of it is making sure that everybody in a company, you know, that, you know, we talk about employee engagement. You got to offer people a mission in which they can believe. And that mission can't be, we're just going to make money.
Yes.
Nothing wrong with making money, but that's not fulfilling enough.
Yeah.
And everybody has to know how they play a role in that.
Yeah.
Right. So when we talk about being a social enterprise and having that social mission and a business mission, we're competing with Amazon and Walmart and Target and all the rest. We have to go toe to toe with them.
Yeah.
Right? So we have to have great selection, great products, great service. That's part of the happiness.
Yes.
Right? And you know, so we do same day shipping. If an order comes in today by 3 o'clock, it's going out today.
Yeah.
And it's got a thank you note from John and candy.
Yeah.
So we do better shipping than Amazon.
Yeah.
And Jeff Bezos is not putting a thank you note and candy in his packages.
No, he is not. That's why he is vulnerable. He's vulnerable to you guys, like death by 1,000 cuts, that sort of thing.
Yeah, and think about it. With us, when you get a package from us, it's got John's smiling face on the outside.
Yeah.
You open it up, you get your socks. You get the thank you note. You get the story.
Yeah.
You get 2 discount cards, right? Why 2?
One for customer, 20 for a friend.
One to give to a friend. You get the candy, you see the sticker with the picture and the name of the person who packed your order. So now you know that you're helping us hire people with different abilities. You're helping us raise money to give back to charities. So that package, you didn't just get socks.
Yeah.
You got this little dose of happiness.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, much more.
Yeah. So,
yeah, there's some really interesting things that you've already said that I really want to dive deep on. We could speak for hours. Like where you mentioned you gave your customer service reps just you need to make that customer happy, and we're going to spend an ungodly amount doing it. That's never going to be an ROI type of thing because that's not what we're thinking about. And just giving that responsibility to them. I trust that you're going to do a good job by our customers, and here you go. You don't have to go up the management chain and try and get all these different things signed off and get it, and then all these little tick box exercises. Do whatever it takes, get it done. Just get it done. And that breeds culture. Your mission statement breeds culture. The little things that you do, like John is writing all of those notes, breeds culture, and that culture enables you to have speed, consistency, of employees, as well as consistency in your messaging and community, customer service, so many things. You just tick, 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 tick through just some really simple,
it's too much to put all in a manual.
Yeah.
To give everybody rules, right?
Yeah.
You have to have the skills, for whatever job we're hiring, you have to have the sufficient skills. But you also have to believe. You got to buy into the mission that we have.
Yeah.
And that job as a customer service, and we call them happiness creators.
Yeah.
That's a tough job.
Yeah.
You're on the spot. You got to be able to think things through. You got to be creatively. You got to be able to problem solve. And we have to trust you. You can't be living in fear in that job. I come back on employee and engagement. I mentioned some things before. We almost have a formula. You can almost boil it down to a formula, right?
Yeah.
Give people a mission in which they can believe.
Yeah.
Make sure that everybody understands how what they do serves the mission, right? So our sock wranglers know. We want to spread happiness. We got to get that order right. Right? If you open it up, we explain it to them. If you open it up, you ordered a cat sock and you got a dog sock, you're not going to be happy.
Yeah.
So we got to get that right. And people have to know that their job matters. You got to put people in a position to succeed. Right?
Yeah.
If our web designer needs a certain tool, get them that tool.
Yep.
If somebody needs a certain chair, get them that chair. Put them in a position to succeed.
Absolutely.
Make sure you recognize what they're doing. Everybody wants to do a good job. Everybody wants to be noticed and appreciated. Sometimes that just means going up to somebody and saying, hey, thank you. I saw you did this.
Yeah.
Then stay the hell out of the way.
Yeah. Yeah, no one likes me.
Do their job.
Yeah.
Right? Because here's the flip side. You know, one of my other sons worked at a call center selling nutraceuticals. Before you could go in the call center, you had to empty your pockets out. You had to take your phone out. Everything had to be locked away, and they searched you. You were on camera the entire time.
Yeah.
They monitored every phone call. They monitored how long you were on a phone call.
Yeah.
Now you tell me, how could anybody succeed in that environment? Because they have now told you, we don't trust you. We think you're a bad person. We think you're going to do a lousy job.
Yeah.
And therefore, we're going to treat you that way. How are you going to respond?
Yeah, absolutely. There's always, you know, that sense of purpose is one of the biggest driving forces to human happiness, and you've literally just ripped it out of someone. Like, right. How is anybody going to be a well-serving employee in that environment? Right. It's going to be pretty tough for them. No, you've taken everything away. I do want to, before we get too far into some other bits, we should start talking about, obviously, there's not been this smooth sailing ship. I'm sure you've had some ups and downs. So I'd like to just touch on those for a moment, if we can, on some of the obstacles and hurdles that you've had to overcome on your journey so far.
Well, we've been very fortunate, and we've had wild swings in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
So the first year, I'll give you some idea of it, right? So here we are, it's December, we tested, it goes, well, we're going full hog now. This is it. Yeah. And that January of 2017, we sold a total of 168 orders. And we're learning firsthand.
Yeah.
Nobody buys in January, they spent all their money at Christmas.
Yeah.
We go out, that's when we introduced our first awareness socks, our Down syndrome awareness sock. And that's another example of John being a natural entrepreneur. We had discovered that people celebrate World Down Syndrome Day. When is that?
It's 3/21 is World Down Syndrome Day.
March 21st. They celebrate that by wearing crazy socks. You would have thought we knew that ahead of time, but
yeah.
Right. So we go looking for a Down syndrome sock that we could sell. We couldn't find one.
Yeah.
John's one who said,
I want to make one.
Want to make one. So we designed one. We got somebody to make it. And we called up 2 charities, one being the National Down Syndrome Society here in the U.S., and said, hey, we want to give you money from every pair of these socks. They said, who are you? Yeah. Why do you want to give us money?
Yeah. Hey, can I write you a check? Yeah,
right. So in February, we grew about 6-fold. In the beginning of March, this was a funny day. On the first Saturday in March, we decided to test a pop-up shop at a local pub. That went great. We had our best day so far, and that meant we were doing about 50 orders a day. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
That day, we're driving out to dinner, and I mentioned that we had built our store on the Shopify platform, and we got the phone, and you get a little ding every time you get a sale. It's like a little pheromone release. Ooh.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, the phone starts going crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Ding, 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 ding. Sales through the roof. We're sitting at this restaurant, and I'm trying to figure out where's all this coming from.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the Google Analytics and stuff. And then I tell John at the height of my hubris of,
what?
Well, it must be the SEO work I was doing.
Oh, yeah.
It turned out that an online journal called The Mighty, which had done an interview with us, put out a video. And that video went viral.
Yeah.
The last I looked, that video had 20 million views. We went from 50 orders to over 1,000 orders overnight.
Yeah.
Which sounds awesome. Everybody wants to go viral. It almost put us out of business.
Yeah.
Because we were not set up for that type of volume yet. So we scramble for that. We go and hire people to give you an idea of what it was like. One night I went to Best Buy, a computer electronics store here in the U.S., to buy another computer so we could have a computer, so we could have another packing station. I wound up recruiting 2 of their workers to come and join us the next day. We're hiring anybody.
Yeah.
But then what happens? Sales take off, then sales come down, and they crash over the summer. Because we're learning nobody buys socks in the summer. And we run out of money. I'm sitting on inventory. I have been borrowing money to pay salary. We had to furlough people. We had conviction that if we could make it to the fall would be okay.
Yeah.
And we did. And we hired people back, and we had a huge holiday season. We started getting media coverage, and media coverage begets media coverage. You know, if you're on one show, somebody else has you on. So we finished the year, we shipped 42,000 orders and did about $1.7 million in revenue. Pretty good, right?
Yeah, getting good now.
We go into the next year and we tell all our holiday people, go on home. We'll call you back next holiday. We tell our core sock wranglers, don't even come into the middle of January because we have no work. And sure enough, it starts slow. And that's when our friends in London at the BBC, they ran a story on us on BBC News.
Yeah.
And they put out a video. It's not a great video. It's a nice video. That video got 40 million views. Things explode. We call everybody up saying, we're putting the band back together. Can you come in? People will come in. This is wonderful. And then another thing happened. John had become sock buddies, if you will, with former President George H.W. Bush, George the father.
Yeah.
Because he wore crazy socks. John saw that, said, we should send them some socks. You say that a lot.
I do all the time.
We sent him socks. He sent John socks. On World Down Syndrome Day that year, he tweeted out a picture wearing John's Down Syndrome superhero socks. That got attention.
That's amazing.
And then when Mrs. Bush passed away, when Barbara Bush passed away, his office called and said, can we get some socks for the family and the former president to wear to honor her commitment to literacy? We send some socks. The only communication he had with the day of the funeral, which became a big media event here, was to tweet out a picture of the socks he was wearing. That leads to all sorts of attention about the kid who became friends with the president. That leads to media attention. So we ride that year a series of viral events and media coverage. And we wind up shipping 140,000 orders, have $5 million in revenue. We enter the next year, and we know we're not going to repeat that. You know, you're not going to get a repeat of the viral and the public events. We start off pretty strong, and for the first time, we go looking for capital because it turns out growth requires capital.
Oh, money into stuff, into business. It's weird.
Yeah, you know, buy that inventory. And we have people lining up. We got an investment banker. Oh, people are going to love this. You look at your growth and you've made a profit. This is wonderful. And the banks lined up to come in here, and everybody said, we love what you do.
Yeah.
We're not going to give you a cent. You're a startup. You got to do it again. And we had investors come in, and mainly what they wanted to do was shut us down, buy the brand, shut us down, and go their merry way. And we said no. But as the year went on, last year we ran out of money. So then we're struggling, and we're thinking and planning, that's okay, we'll make it all back at the holiday season, except we had no money to buy inventory at the holiday season. So we kind of lost the holiday season. We still finished the year doing over $2 million in revenue. You know, I had told you that in 3 years you'd be at that, you'd be very happy. And then the beginning of this year, we worked out an arrangement with a privately held third generation sock manufacturer that has put us in good position for growth for the long haul as we grow again. And we signed that deal on February 23rd, right as the virus hit. So, you know, this entrepreneurship, and I've opened and run other businesses, it is not for the faint of heart.
Yes. Absolutely, that's true. I'm really glad you shared that. Like, because I think people quite quickly see the success and be like, oh well, you know, it's easy for you, type of thing. And it just shows you like the ups and even once you think you've made it, like that doesn't mean anything sometimes.
Getting started actually was the easiest thing.
Yeah.
You know, it was just John and me.
Yeah.
But riding those, you know, the ups and downs, and I don't have a background in retail. That's been both a blessing and a bane.
Yeah.
It's a bane because I don't know some things that other people already know.
Yeah.
It's a blessing because I don't know what they know, and we go about it in a different way.
Yeah.
Now we're with some partners that are very well established in the field. So hopefully we get the best of both.
Yeah.
But and you know, who plans for something like a virus?
Yeah. How have you found dealing with this whole COVID situation? How has that affected you? Because a lot of online retail and e-commerce has exploded. A lot of companies have seen explosion in sales, like makeup.
Depends what you're doing.
Yes,
it's not true about clothing. Clothing sales have generally collapsed, and and we're, you know, people put us in a gift category that's generally collapsed.
Yeah.
We've been okay, and there are a couple of things going on. One, we stay true to the mission, true to what we're trying to do. So, you know, you have to look for new opportunities, and I'll give you some examples. Right, I told you one of our pillars is inspiration and hope. It's not only hiring people with different abilities, and well more than half our staff has a different ability, but it's also showing the world what they can do. One way we do that is in our warehouse office, we host school tours, and we would get high schools and social service agencies coming in. Well, we can't do that during the virus. New York has been particularly hard hit. So what do? Now we have online tours. So this morning we gave an online tour. We had people from around the US. We've had people from Scotland. We've had people from Australia. We've had people from Czechoslovakia come on, or what used to be Czechoslovakia, come on for online tours. We never would have reached them if you had to come for a physical tour.
Yeah, of course.
We want to spread happiness. Every Tuesday afternoon,
I have a dance party.
John hosts an online dance party. You get 100 some odd people coming on to a Zoom conference, all dancing.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful thing to see.
Yeah.
We do a Facebook Live broadcast every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday evening at 7:00 New York time, called Spreading Happiness. And all we do is kind of share what John's been up to, let him know some stuff. John tells a few jokes. So we do 30 to 40 minutes, and that's had a reach of 40,000 people. So it's staying to the mission. You know, we sell products that celebrate and highlight people. So we've created healthcare superhero socks, and socks that say, this superhero wears scrubs. And we're donating $5 from every pair to specific coronavirus relief funds, one with the American Nurses Association, one with the local hospital, to raise money for frontline healthcare workers. So we've raised over $25,000 for them.
That's amazing.
So, you know, I think part of it is look for new opportunities. Look to see how you can take your core message and core values and transform them into what looks like a new world. How can you continue to connect with people?
I think that really goes back to, again, like how you started, isn't it? Like that being customer focused, not product focused. Like you're shifting, like you're still creating happiness. Yes, obviously your business is selling socks, but I mean, you're then trying to do that in more ways, and the content and the things and the broadcasts you put out to build ultimately brand reputation is not just, you know, this is our socks, you know, you're doing more than that. You're going far beyond that. It's like, come and join this dance party type of thing. What's that got to do with socks? Absolutely nothing, but it doesn't matter. The point is that our mission statement is we want to make people happy, and dancing makes people happy, so we're going to do that.
Right.
So I really
And it sounds trite.
Mm.
The more we can do for others, the better off we are.
Yeah.
Right. We have to, and we can't lose sight of the business aspect of it.
Of course.
But it turns out it's good business to act that way, right? Yeah. We know we have to have both parts. If we want to do some good, then we have to do well. Right?
Yeah.
They have to go hand in hand.
Yeah.
If all we did was have a cute story about a father and son and they did nice things, you wouldn't be talking to us because you wouldn't have heard about us. It would be like running a little lemonade stand.
Yeah, maybe.
At the same time, if all we did was sell socks, you wouldn't be talking to us either, because we'd be one of approximately 1 gazillion companies that are selling socks.
Yeah.
It becomes powerful.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. I really like with you guys. There's so many things that are just such a great example of where I personally believe the world is going. Like, it's where you can create media now and you can communicate with people on a scale that we've not seen. I think we've almost come, like, if you, maybe I'll start this again. If you had a shop in your local town in the 1800s, early 1900s, before big media, big box retail, like the way you done business was like this. Like, you got people to know you by getting to know everybody in the town. Oh, that's John. He's the shoemaker. He's the Thatcher. He's the whatever it was. Like, you built everything on relationships, and that's how everything happened. And then big box retail and kind of mass media, like, commoditized a lot of things and made it very, not easy, but if you had a lot of money, you could spend a lot on marketing, you can push people, and it kind of lost that personal touch. And now we've come, I think, full circle. Like, the internet, as much as it opens everything up, it also closes everything down, because now I can see exactly who you are, what you're doing. I can see everybody's comments about everything. Like, are you a good business? Are you a good person? Are you true to your word? Like, I've got so much information to my hands that everything has come back round to those personal interactions, and they become so amazingly important. Like, how did any of those things and those viral moments happen? It was a personal connection. It was nothing to do with your product almost. Well, it had elements to do with your product, but it's that personal connection. If they like you, they like what you're doing, is what I mean. Like, even though it's
right, I agree. And, we run into businesses that they want to do it from outside in.
Yeah.
We've done this study. We found you should do this, you should do that. But there's no there. We hear something, and it's kind of a curious thing. Oh, you're so authentic. How else are we going to be?
Yeah.
I say only half jokingly, John has no guile, and I'm too old to care.
Yeah.
This is who we are. And I think one of the things that happens is that people value in today is you got to be transparent. Well, we're transparent. Here it is.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Here's an example, and it's not any one thing. Like, there is nothing we do that is the equivalent of rocket science. There's no. I was in grad school. I studied advanced statistics and econometrics. We're talking here about the most advanced thing we might do involves long division. It's not complicated.
Yeah.
But it's all of a whole, right? So one of our pillars is giving back. And we started with 5% of our earnings go to the Special Olympics. Then we've added products that raise money for charity organizations. We sponsor an Autism Can Do scholarship. It's a $5,000 scholarship for somebody in the autism spectrum to go to college or university, or use it for a job training program or a tech school. These things are baked into what we do.
Yeah.
It's not, oh, if I make enough money, then I'll write a check.
Yeah.
You have to believe.
Yeah.
You have to believe in what you're doing. And that sounds so simple.
Yep, it does. It is, like, so many things you're saying are so true. Like, that you do have to, like, rather than using it as a tactic later, like you probably dealt with those charities or in some way supported them before you even had the business. Like it wasn't something you don't even necessarily have to advertise about it, because you're just like, we're going to do this regardless of what happens with the business. Like it's just part of who we are. So it's like, oh, you have to be authentic. Well, it's very easy to be authentic when you just don't do anything other than be yourself. Like you don't even have to think about it because you've got no alternative motive.
I'll give you another example. So when it comes to selling a new product, either adding new socks or we're now adding some other items, T-shirts and some pins, and we're going to have some masks. We have a couple of criteria. One, they have to be fun.
Yep, and
they have to spread happiness.
I can be excited about it.
And John has to be excited about it. So I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
Last summer, we got some socks in here that said, "Yo, bitch." Now, I can tell you those socks will sell.
Yeah.
But John can't sell those socks.
Yeah.
That's not going to work. Now, we could hire a brand consultant who would come in and advise us, well, this works or that doesn't work. To us, it's more personal. Hey, John, do you like this? Could you do this? Could you think about this? And the answer, so in that sense, it's we have more technology. We only sell online. And yet it enables us to be more personal.
Yeah.
It enables us to reach and touch more people.
I think it'll be an interesting, as you guys progress, I'm going to ask you in a second what your plans are for the future, but to kind of preempt that a little bit, I do personally see like e-commerce, retail, where they're kind of blending, and you see lots of people wanting to buy stuff online is a lot, and then you've got big retailers that have got huge amounts of space where nobody's coming, they're all buying online. I wonder if you go to a Toys R Us should have done like a Nerf gun war zone. Like that's what you should have. Take off all the products from the shelves. We don't need that because people are going to buy them online. Create an experience. Like you might end up creating something that's a fun experience that's got nothing to do with socks, but it will break. It'll be so true to your brand.
Well, one of the things we do a fair amount of speaking tours. Now that's adjusting, right? Everything gets canceled. Nobody's having speaking, large conferences, but that's essential to the business because it's a way of spreading the message.
Yes.
We're trying to cook something up for next year. We'll see how it goes. Of the two of us going on a road trip, spending 3 months driving around the U.S.
Yep.
Showing up at customers' doors, staging pop-up shops, going on speaking engagements to like local Rotary clubs. If you're listening, our friends at Microsoft, you could support it. You could sponsor it. We'll go and speak at Microsoft stores. But it's a way of bringing some spontaneity and fun to a local environment and connecting on that. Right? It's, people, for us in some of the ways we're thinking about things, and I think you've got it right. There's, everybody is wrung the death knell of brick and mortar retail. And, every day it seems there are new companies that are declaring bankruptcy during this virus. But brick and mortar retail still completely dominates and does much more than online retail.
Yes.
But what's going away is stuff that's not interesting. But if you can create interesting experiences, if you could connect in a way, well,
that makes all the difference.
Who knows? Maybe someday there'll be John's Crazy Ales. We'll have brew pubs.
I guess it's fair.
You want to drink beer, huh? Yeah, that's all.
That's perfect. I'm getting conscious of our time. I could speak forever. So just want to wrap up with a few. What are your guys' plans for the future? Where do you want to see this go? Do you have a kind of more of a guiding light from the sounds of things than an exact plan I'd imagine you guys have. But what would you like for the future?
Well, we want to try to expand. We want to get back on a growth trajectory. We, in terms of a business, we got our socks are mainly sold during the last quarter of the year. So we're looking to offer products that would be available year round. Yeah. We're looking at more inventive or creative ways of selling products that would make people happy. And some of that is packaging experiences. We're looking at sharing more information, and that's both through our speaking engagements, but we hear a lot from people that want to get started. They want to start a business, particularly families that have somebody that's got a different ability. So we're trying to figure out how can we meet that need? How can we share information with them to encourage that? I mean, one of the more exciting things we've had is in the past 6 months, we can think of 3 online businesses where they didn't even talk to us. I mean, some of them had spoken to us, but when they opened, they said, we opened because we were inspired by John. And if we could help more people do that, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, perfect. That's great. And before we go, where can people find these socks?
Where can they get the socks, John?
At sockfest.com.
johnscrazysocks.com.
Excellent. Thank you so much for both of you coming on the show and sharing your story with us. I really appreciate it. I think it is a very inspiring story and something that, really, it's not just like a cute story. It is a real, this is how you should be operating a business, with love and care, type of thing. So I really appreciate you sharing your story with us. Thanks so much for coming on.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having us, Tom. This has been good fun.
No problem at all. And thanks everybody for listening home. If you're wanting to join in more about the Crazy Socks, I would leave all the links. As you said, you guys can join their Facebook page, join in the dance parties and get yourself some socks. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.